40 terabytes of data, a massive evidence drop. Tonight, a high-profile case takes a darker turn as investigators uncover disturbing new details.
Newly released documents outline a detailed timeline from the night a teenage girl disappeared. Investigators say the findings raise urgent and unsettling questions.
With the defense maintaining innocence, the case enters a critical stage. What's inside these newly released documents could shape everything that comes next.
From breaking stories to the facts that matter most, this is D Unbelievable.
I want you to think about something for a second. Imagine you are a prosecutor. You have been building a case for months, quietly, behind closed doors, and the moment finally comes when you walk into a courtroom and lay it all out. And the number you put before the judge is 40 terabytes. Not 40 files, not 40 folders, 40 terabytes. That is 20 million documents. That is roughly 10,000 hours of video. That is a case so large, so layered, that prosecutors told the judge it will take months just to hand it over to the other side. That hearing happened on April 23rd, 2026, and it was only the beginning. Because 6 days after that hearing, prosecutors filed a 9-page document that described in detail what they allege actually happened inside a Hollywood Hills home on the night Celeste Rivas Hernandez was last seen alive. The defense tried to have that document sealed. They did not want you reading it. The judge said no. So today, we are reading it together. Welcome back to D Unbelievable. I'm covering everything from April 23rd through May 3rd, 2026. This is the update that connects all the dots. And I have to warn you, some of what prosecutors allege in this document is genuinely difficult to sit with. Before we go any further, David Burke has pleaded not guilty. This case is ongoing. There is no verdict. Everything you are about to hear comes directly from verified court documents and credible news reporting. Let's get into it. Quick recap for anyone just joining us. Celeste Rivas Hernandez, 14 years old, from Lake Elsinore, California. Her remains were found in September 2025 inside a Tesla registered to music artist David Anthony Burke, known as D4VD. He was arrested April 16, 2026, charged with first-degree murder with special circumstances, continuous sexual abuse of a minor, and mutilation of remains. He pleaded not guilty. He is in custody without bail. That's where we left off. Here is what happened after. April 23rd, exactly 1 year to the day since Celeste was last known to be alive. Burke is brought into a small LA courtroom, orange jumpsuit, handcuffed. And I want you to think about that for a second. 1 year later, almost to the hour, and he's sitting in that chair. The entire hearing, he spoke 3 words. Yes, ma'am. That's it. 3 words, while his prosecutor, Deputy DA Beth Silverman, stood up and told the court something that honestly made my jaw drop. AP, April 23, 2026. She said investigators have gathered more than 40 terabytes of digital evidence in this case. 40 terabytes. That's roughly 20 million documents, about 10,000 hours of video. We are not talking about one phone and a laptop. We are talking about a digital paper trail that spans search warrants, iCloud accounts, wiretap recordings, device extractions, and months of forensic work across multiple agencies. AP, April 23rd, 2026. And then she said something else, something that shifted the entire energy in that room. Silverman told the judge that when investigators searched Burke's iPhone and iCloud under a warrant, they found what she described as a significant amount of child sexual abuse material. That is the clinical term used by law enforcement and major outlets like AP, CBS News, and ABC7, CBS LA, April 23rd. I'm going to be careful here, and I want to be honest with you. This is an allegation on the official court record, but not yet proven before a jury. We will not describe it further on this channel, and please, don't go looking for it. Nobody should. What I will say is this. Prosecutors are framing it as part of a larger pattern they allege had been building for a very long time before that night. And then came one more thing that had never been made public before. Silverman confirmed that 3 separate grand juries were quietly convened during this investigation in November, December, and February. Each one had subpoena power. Legal analysts called it immediately. That is highly unusual. That tells you how far and how deep this investigation actually went. Rolling Stone, April 23, 2026. 6 days after that hearing, prosecutors filed a 9-page document, and this is the one that broke everything open publicly. It's called the People's Brief Regarding Preliminary Hearing Evidence. Think of it as a roadmap, what the prosecution says they intend to prove. It is one-sided by nature. It is not a verdict. But what it describes is a step-by-step account of what they allege actually happened inside that Hollywood Hills home. Blair Burke, Burke's lead attorney, immediately asked the judge to seal it. She said it was entirely one-sided and could taint any future jury. Rolling Stone, April 29, 2026. Judge Omido said no, and that document became public. KESQ, April 29th. So, here is what prosecutors allege. They say Burke first met Celeste in January 2022 when she was 11 years old. 11. They allege a sexual relationship began in November 2023 when he was 18 and she was 13. Text messages referenced in the brief allegedly discuss pregnancy, emergency contraception, and explicit contact. NBC LA, April 29th. On April 22, 2025, they allegedly had a fight. The following night, April 23rd, prosecutors say Burke paid for a rideshare to bring Celeste to his home. She got in the car, she arrived, and according to prosecutors, she was never seen alive again. CBS LA, April 29th. On the following morning after she allegedly died, he came home and did a radio interview. Then he texted and called her phone, asking where she was. She was already gone. He stopped reaching out entirely on April 26th. Fox LA, April 29th. And blood samples taken from the garage of his rental, DNA matched to Celeste. Rolling Stone, April 29th, 2026. The defense has not wavered. Their statement remains the same. The actual evidence in this case will show that David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and he was not the cause of her death. We will vigorously defend David's innocence. So, the preliminary hearing was set for May 1st, and then the defense asked for more time. Prosecutors were not happy. They'd cleared their calendars. But Burke's attorney, Marilyn Bednarski, told the judge plainly they needed more time to actually go through what they were being given. Rolling Stone, April 29th. And honestly, that's understandable. Even after 5 full weeks, investigators had only managed to upload about 30% of their total evidence to the defense's system. When your case is 40 terabytes, that is not a quick process. AP, April 23rd. The defense also flagged something that matters for the bigger picture. They told the judge they are already concerned about finding an impartial jury, given how widely this case has spread. That conversation is going to come up again. News Nation, April 30th. Here is where we stand. Preliminary hearing, May 26th. Status check before that, May 12th. When that hearing happens, it will be the first time prosecutors put witnesses and evidence in front of a judge publicly. It is not a trial, no verdict comes from it, but it may be the clearest window into this case we've had yet. And at the end of every update, every court date, every document, every hearing, there is a girl, a 14-year-old girl who loved Hello Kitty, who never missed a Friday movie night, and who sent a text in March of 2025 saying she wanted more for herself. She deserved more. She deserved everything. To Celeste Abigail Rivas Hernandez, your family is carrying something no family should ever have to carry. The world is still watching. D Unbelievable will be here for every hearing, every ruling, every development, until justice is fully and completely served. We will not look away. Now I genuinely want to know what you think. The prosecution has laid out their roadmap. The defense says none of it tells the real story, and the May 26th preliminary hearing is coming fast. What do you think is the most important unanswered question heading into that courtroom? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. Subscribe to D Unbelievable so you don't miss the May 26th breakdown. And as always, justice for Celeste.